We're ready.
Thank you. Well, good evening and welcome to the regular meeting of Hamilton City Council for August 27th, 2025. We're in City Council Chambers, 345 High Street in Hamilton. We have one public hearing this evening. It involves the Innovation District Master Plan. Roll call, please.
Moeller.
Present.
Pullman.
Present.
Fear.
Present.
Vaughn.
Present.
Ryan.
Present.
Knapp.
Present.
Lauer.
Present.
We have the quorum.
Okay, we'll start off with an offering of prayer by Councilmember Michael Ryan, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. Please stand if you are able.
Lord, let us live each day in the most loving ways, the God-conscious ways. Let us serve all who are in need, regardless of race, color, or creed. And Lord, please continue to guide our city council, and our management teams. Please protect our police officers and firefighters and keep them out of harm's way. And Lord, please continue to bless our city, our state, and our country. And Lord, please continue to keep the victims of today's senseless shooting in Minneapolis in our thoughts and prayers. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. I want to say thank you, Daniel, for doing that last call to sign the book. Appreciate that. Okay. Who do we have up first here?
This is the City of Hamilton 2024 audit by Chris Flagg of Clark Schaefer Hackett, and I will pull up his presentation. So.
There we go.
Almost there.
Good deal.
There you go.
Oh, hey, thank you. Do I need to? Yeah. Mr. Mayor, Council, City Management, and citizens, my name is Chris Flagg, and I'm on behalf of Clark Schaefer Hackett. I'm here tonight to present the 2024 audit results. This is not a financial result. We're going to go through really the general audit results. So we've got a couple of highlights here to share. I believe that Dave Jones of the Finance Department probably has shared the financial information with you already, the Annual Comprehensive Financial Report, commonly known as the ACFR, and we'll kind of go through those results here this evening. I'll be my head here, my man. This one? Oh, that's the pointer. Oh. There we go. All right. So a little bit about the audit results. Clark Schaefer Hackett issues 3 reports. The first report is a report on the financial statements. Then we do a report accordance to government auditing standards. And then we do a report related to the the federal dollars that you receive. So the key report is this unmodified opinion on the financial statements. So you did receive an unmodified opinion, and the key here is that's kind of the gold standard within the profession. That means there's no modifications, that you're following, number 1, generally accepted accounting principles. Number 2, we did the audit in accordance with generally accepted auditing standards. And then number 3, we followed generally accepted government auditing standards. So at that point in time, you've got this unmodified opinion. Third-party users can grab those financials. The numbers, the footnotes, et cetera, within those financials are reasonably stated, materially correct. They can rely on that data. A couple things about the audit that we always share. We're not doing a forensic audit. We do plan for fraud, kind of look at where hotspots might be, but we're not doing forensic procedures. Our main focus is to issue an opinion on the financial statements that go to third-party users, bondholders, council, anyone who needs to invest in the city. The second thing is we do not do bookkeeping. Dave Jones, Matt McKinney, and their team have the records ready. It used to be a thing when I first started in the profession. The auditors are here, they're going to clean up the records. We don't clean up any records. They're done when we arrive on site. So Dave and Matt, you guys are responsible for the internal controls. We examine on a test basis and audit those numbers. So a little bit about that, those expectations within what occurs in an audit of a financial statement. The second report we issue is under government auditing standards. And so a little bit of a twist here. The city obviously is a municipality, you're a government, and the way the standards read is there's a separate set of standards set up for government entities. And what that requires is there's a separate report on controls and compliance. Because you're handling the public's money, there's this thought process by the GAO that says there should be a control and compliance report so citizens, council, et cetera, should know what's going on with their internal controls and compliance with the law. That report is attached to the big report that we had shared with Dave. Keys of that report. Number one, no material weaknesses in internal control were identified, and we have no significant deficiencies in internal control. We had no internal control findings to report, meaning that your report is what we would call a standard report, and your internal controls are operating and they're designed properly to prepare a set of financial statements. The other item here is there were no material instances of non-compliance. The Ohio Revised Code has a set of rules that are out there, things like, are you bidding contracts? Are you depositing money in a timely fashion? Are the deposits in what we would call safe investments? You're meeting all those thresholds, no compliance issues noted. So it's a good report. That's a good thing to have, right? So the GAGAS report was a clean report. The last report then is what we call uniform grant guidance. This is over federal dollars. So as you know, you receive a good share of federal dollars, block grant money, et cetera. So the OMB kind of comes in, issues a supplement and says, we've given the city federal money. We want that audit to be a separate audit. So we issue a separate report on those federal funds. We select based on the direct and material and the dollar amount, and we test federal programs within the city. The key to that report, there were no findings noted, and no internal control issues and no compliance issues. We actually give an opinion on the compliance, and that opinion was unmodified, meaning there were no modifications to that opinion, quote unquote, a clean opinion. So again, the federal funds here we felt are being handled properly. So you've got the GAGAS report, clean report, and the Uniform Grant Guidance report, a clean report. So all good things. So I'm here bringing good news tonight. So those are all good things. Any questions at that point? So the next slide then, real quick, I'll turn this over. Let me move this. So a couple things about the general proceedings with the audit. Number one, the planned scope and timing of the audit. Started the audit in the spring. We finished by June. A couple of things, you've got a very large entity, right? You've got 4 utilities, pretty big size entity overall. So when we look at the timing of that audit, we're very proud to be able to issue by that June 30th deadline. That's a deadline, number one, the state sets, and also the GFOA. So we met that deadline. You've got, like I said, a pretty complex entity overall, so that's a good thing. That says to us that your team is prepared. They're ready to have an audit done. We're able to hit the ground running and deliver a good product in a timely fashion. Second thing here, no material misstatements in the financials. This would be if we had a lot of audit adjustments. We had none, which is a good thing. So what that kind of says, if you're on the council floor, the financial information you're getting did not need to have a lot of adjustments at year end to correct it, to true it up, et cetera. That says that during the year, you're getting pretty good information that doesn't need to be reclassified or changed. So for us, that's a good thing. No material adjustments and no uncorrected misstatements. That would be if we found some things and thought, well, it's immaterial, we should waive that. We had none of those type of entries either. So again, another highlight here tonight. We had no disagreements with management. We got great cooperation from Dave and Matt and the team. They were ready for us to audit. And again, as I said, we were able to turn the audit in a timely fashion. The key accounting policies for the city can be found in the ACFR. It's footnote number 1. The real takeaway for that footnote is you're following US GAAP. And that's a good thing, right? You're following generally accepted accounting principles. If you were to read through that footnote, all those policies match up with what the authoritative bodies say you should be doing. So another good takeaway. The last thing, the ACFR has been submitted to the GFOA. We fully expect you to get your certificate this year. We think it meets the quality thresholds they're looking for. The auditor of state will eventually approve that report. They do a desk review of the report. Their timeline is typically 2 to 3 months. They're a little bit behind. I would think we're going to have something here sometime in the fall. We fully expect, again, no changes or any comments on that report. Happy to take any questions at this point. I know I've kind of covered a lot of highlights here, but all good stuff this evening. So
we're clean.
clean opinion, clean audit, yeah.
Mr. Mayor,
We're now.
Chris, what a pleasure to continue, and Dave, you and your team, to continue the signs of excellence that you've continued to produce these last 10, 15 years. What an incredible posture for our city to be able to be completely balanced, not to have any left side, right side things going on that are important to balancing and things like that. So again, congratulations to your team. Chris, thanks for everything. You're always welcome to come back.
Very good, thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I think I would echo those comments. You know, on the way in, I was thinking about where we were with the timing and the success of the audit, and I'm always reminded of everybody wants a good audit. Not everybody deserves one. And that means it really takes two to tango. Clark Schaefer is going to do what we're supposed to do. The real key is on the management and the city side, and that's when Dave and Matt and their team are ready and they're prepared to have an audit done. When we ask for information, they bring it to us, and they know the answers. There's no surprises when it comes to like, yeah, here's the receivable balance and et cetera. So very pleased with this evening's results.
Good.
You. Any other comments?
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, Chris.
Thank you.
Would you like me to make the announcement, Mayor?
Please.
Okay. Next up for a special presentation with special presentations with the Boys and Girls Clubs of Hamilton organization update by CEO Tommy John.
Good evening. So good to see many of you, Mayor, members of council, city manager, and I don't want to leave out Director Block. I think a lot of people leave out Director Block, but I know she has a big job, so I want to make sure I recognize her as well. It's an honor being here tonight. Tonight I hope to share some of changes in our organization, as well as some updates from our summer program and where the organization is going this school year and beyond. So first I have to start out with our mission. And our mission is to enable all young people, especially those who need us most, to reach their full potential as caring, productive, and responsible citizens. This is how we start every single meeting. We make all of our decisions based on our mission. Mission and our values are very important to us. Our values are teamwork, memories, friendship, family, and fun. And if any of my staff saw me say fun and not a fun way, I would be in trouble, because we have to say fun in a fun way, which is why it's capitalized. But again, every single decision that we make as an organization, strategically, through our board, through our staff, is designed around this mission and around these values. Those of you that is familiar with our organization knew that 2 years ago we were a lot smaller. We had 2 locations, and I'll give some specific numbers on employment for that, but we now this year have 5 locations and 3 mobile clubs as well. So complex, can be a little bit more complex, but we have some great people that support our organization, have some great people employed, and some great people on the board, 2 of which are here tonight. I want to recognize our board members, Liz Hayden and Cindy Rentschler, who are here in the crowd tonight for their work that they do. We don't pay our board members. They do that as voluntary work, and that is a lot of work that they do for our organization, so we're very appreciative of the work that they do. Going a little bit deeper, our club directors at our 5 locations function similar to how a principal would function at a school. They have a lot of responsibility. They have facility responsibility, safety, oversight, ensuring that we are in compliance with our charter regulations. They have a big job. And Coach Simmons is the club director at our Grand Club located on Grand Boulevard, and he comes to us with over 40 years experience as an educator. Montessa Morgan is our club director at our Highland Club, and she comes to us with a degree in education and having been a former club member herself. And so she knows exactly what a lot of our kids and families who we serve are going through. Amber Sneed is our club director at our East Club. The Sneed name is very synonymous with Hamilton. The family has deep roots here, specifically in the Jefferson community, And she comes to us after having played professional basketball overseas, coaching D1 women's volleyball and basketball at UMass, and very connected in the community. Doug Ware has been a staple with our organization. He takes over as our club director at our Linden Club. He's been with our organization for 27 years. And so one of the things he's very proud of is now he sees generations of families. So kids that were in the club when he was a director are now adults and have their own child in the program. And they come in, they say, "Mr. Doug, you're still here?" And he says, "Yeah, I'm still here. I'm always going to be here." And that type of consistency for families in our community is crucial. And our club director at our Whitten Woods Club, so our Linden Club is new, as well as our Whitten Woods Club. That's in partnership with the City of Forest Park and Whitten Woods School District. Our club director is CJ Owensby, who comes to us from Boys and Girls Clubs of Northeast Ohio, where he ran the LeBron James Club in Akron and has a passion for serving teens. That club's going to serve 100% teenagers. And in the crowd tonight is our new Director of Operations, Dr. Jeff Jordan. He comes to us with a lot of experience from Boys and Girls Clubs of Greater Cincinnati most recently, where he was the Vice President of Operations. And he's a doctor, but I tell all of our staff he's not that kind of doctor. So if there's an emergency, still call someone, but he is very smart and has a lot of experience and leads our organization. So, and in his role, he kind of functions as an assistant superintendent, if you would, supervising all of our club directors directly. So this is only his second week, and he's already at a council meeting. So we're very happy to have him here in our community. So if you see Dr. Jordan, welcome him, and you'll see him around town. So these numbers are since 2022. Our average daily attendance, that means how many kids come to our program every day, has increased by over 300%. The total number of youth and teens registered has increased from 165 to 614. If we say total youth served, including outreach programs like Operation Pumpkin and Mobile Club, we would be over 2,000 youth served annually. And then from a economic development standpoint and from a job standpoint, the total full-time and part-time staff has increased from 8 in 2022 to 34. And so that's a lot more people who have a livable wage and benefits and the opportunity to spend their disposable income in Hamilton. And so that's something that we're very proud of too, is not only serving more youth, but putting more Hamiltonians to work. Additionally, since 2022, our operating budget has increased from $400,000 to $1.3 million plus. And that just means to me more resources for families. The capital projects completed $1.1 million, and capital projects in the work over $700,000. And so, as you can see, the organization has grown exponentially, in part because of the work of members on this council, in part because of the great work of our staff, in part because of our great supporters in our community, and the work of our board. And so this shows when people come together and can set aside things that might divide them, that it's our kids and our teens who benefit. And so this is the reason why I wanted to be here. And Hamilton has not let me down. Hamilton has been a place where I've started my family. We purchased our home here, put our roots down here, and the community has returned and with that support for our kids. And so that's something that I'm very proud of. Focusing a little bit now in on our summer program. We ran 2 consecutive summer programs. One is our teen program, which ran 9:30 a.m. to 7:30 p.m. every day, and our youth program, which ran 7:30 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. every single day. Our programs are completely free. We don't offer sliding scale. Families want to register, they register. You don't have to come in and apply and provide financial information and apply for scholarship. It's intrusive for a lot of families, right? So we want to bring families in, not scare them away or turn them off. And so this program was at capacity all summer for the 3rd year in a row. The program was open for 49 days. We had 6,000 hours of mental health programming in partnership with Family and Children First Council. We implemented the You Belong Here NEST curriculum, which focused on positive decision making. Over 40,000 hours of mentorship, and almost 4,000 meals were served. We provided lunch and dinner, breakfast and lunch, and as well as sending meals home with kids, because thanks to our partnership with Shared Harvest as well as UMC Food Ministries. So in addition to our summer program, which ran at our Grand Club on Grand Boulevard, we also ran a mobile club program. And the mobile club program served families at 5 parks. This is in partnership, one with the Hamilton Parks Conservancy, City of Hamilton, as well as Hamilton City School District, where we followed the school district's food truck and provided science, reading, food, mentorship, support at the 4 parks where the school district's food truck served, as well as LJ Smith, because families in the North End reached out and asked if we could have some services for families in the North End this summer. And so some data on that. This program was open for 47 days, served 5 different parks, over 3,000 hours of service. And this is a thing that I was really blown away by, is over 1,000 check-ins. And that was not just from youth, it was from teens, it was from adults as well. And so actually some summer daycares that were serving kids in other parts of the city would bring their kids to our mobile clubs. They were kind of following our van this summer to take advantage of those opportunities for kids. And so very, very strong summer, really proud of the work that we've done and continue to do. There's more work to be done.
Can I ask a question?
Of course.
With the check-ins, what exactly is done?
When they checked in?
When the check-ins?
When they check in. So that just shows how many, that could be duplicated. So if you came 10 times as a parent, that would count as 10. It's just the number of people who came over the course of the summer. We were open for 4 hours a day.
Okay.
And that varied in terms of, on average, people came for about 3.5 hours, which I think is a really good number in terms of engagement as well, if you're only open for 4 hours. So people weren't just eating and leaving. They were eating, spending time, connecting,
Okay.
learning about our other programs, whether that was doing physical fitness activities or getting books or doing science or connecting with an adult mentor.
Thank you.
Of course. The way we've accomplished many of our goals these past 2.5 years is through our strategic plan, and our strategic plan is simply these 3 pillars: our world-class clubs, life-enriching programs, and caring adult mentors. And so facilities, programming, and people. It's not that complicated. I think that it comes down to those 3 things, right, in almost any business. And so this was one of our program areas at our East Club, which wasn't really being used, and now looks like this, thanks to the support of some donors and the Community Foundation. And has now even some brand new computers in there and some engineering curriculum, and serves as an innovator lab for teens and youth at our East Club. This was formerly our Grand Gym on Grand Boulevard. You can see what the gym looks like now. Most of you attended ribbon cuttings or been on a tour. If you haven't been to one of our facilities recently, I encourage you to do so. They've been in our community for 60 and 65 years respectively, but they've changed a lot. You're getting a full virtual tour here. This is our new teen room at our Grand Club. You can see a beautiful mural on the wall, brand new furniture for our teens, a mural that was painted in partnership with Inspiration Studios. This mural is the actual hands of our teens. They mix their own skin pigment with the mentorship of the artists of Inspiration Studios, and they painted on the wall things that were important to them, whether that was Boys and Girls Clubs, their faith, or being a biracial teen, performance arts, whatever that was, that mural in their hand will live on in that room forever. This was an old kitchen space at our Grand Club, which has been renovated into a recording studio, thanks to a grant with First Financial Bank. So there's actually 4 Macs that are on that table now, where the kids create digital music. They can record and edit digital music, as well as our African drum team practices in this room as well. It's a nice acoustic and soundproof room. So plenty of great things happening there from an artistic expression standpoint. This is our game room. Our game room is kind of the heart of the club, and it serves as a living room for our youth, if you would. A kid living room. I think that's a pretty cool kid living room. Our education room at our East Club, fit top to bottom with all the things you would need to facilitate academic enrichment programming. Our game room at our East Club. And what I want to leave you guys with on this is these rooms haven't looked like this forever. In fact, most recently, a lot of them have been changed over to look like this. And I think that when you have a space that's designed appropriately for youth and teens, it changes their mindset from a trauma-informed standpoint, right? If they walk into a space that is concrete floors and old furniture, they think this is what my community thinks of me, and this is what I deserve. I think that our kids deserve the best, and they deserve spaces that reflect their potential. Focusing on our caring adult mentors, that's Mr. CJ at the back. I include this photo because he has a knack for getting the kids hyped up. He has a knack for getting their energy out and getting the most out of our youth and teens. He's been a great addition to our team. Miss Jean, one of our part-time staff members, is our teacher at our Grand Club. She is a 40-year retired teacher, former principal in Boston, and is actually on the Netflix documentary about desegregation in Boston. So if you want to check that out, you can see Miss Jean there in that documentary. But we're really lucky to have her. She actually takes the report cards from kids from our local schools and creates individual education plans for them. And over the course of her being involved with the organization, for every month that the kids have been involved with the club, they've seen 2.1 and 2.3 months, respectively, in reading and math gains. And so the kids are gaining at an exponential rate, kids who are in her tutoring program. And so that's something where a lot of our kids are behind that come to us, and they need that support. Right there in the middle is Miss Lamari. She's a former basketball player at Miami University Regionals, an employee of Boys and Girls Club, and is going to be pursuing her master's. She just graduated, and what a great mentor for our teens to have, right? Someone who is close to them in age, someone who has aspirational goals for the future, and somebody who can put them on the right track when they're making some of these difficult choices in life. So a variety of people that we have on our team who help us accomplish these goals with our youth, and we have to have someone in every facility that when a child walks in, they can look at them and say, that person looks like me. I have something in common with that person. That person reminds me of someone that I know in my family. And so we work very hard and take that very seriously. I mentioned our programming this summer, but wanted to give you some spatial awareness of the way that our kids use the space during programming. They absolutely love coming. All of our locations are currently on a wait list already. We just opened up 2.5 weeks ago. And we're working with the school districts to make sure that we can have additional space to serve more kids. And so this is some of their projects from summer in regards to that NEST curriculum. That was a game changer for us, focusing on mental health and positive decision making. We saw really great results with that. These are the vehicles that we use for Mobile Club. And so we load these up with really fun stuff, kind of like the Cube 2. And we take it out to the community and we set up in places where kids might not be able to get to one of our facilities, but still deserve a great experience. So we load these things up and see them in the community. And so if you see these on the road, that's where they're headed. For the first time ever, our teens got to attend a national leadership conference. These 3 teens and staff members attended the Keystone Conference with Boys and Girls Clubs of America and brought back a lot of leadership experiences that they then shared with other teens at the club. We have the highest number of teens that we've ever had currently in our program right now, and we're excited to continue to grow that throughout the year. Projected by the end of the year, we'll have over 100 teens in our program being served regularly. And then it's not all about game room time and fun and eating. There's other things too, like academic enrichment, where we had a really incredible teacher, Sean Pendergast, who is now a teacher at Baden. He was our teacher in the afternoon this summer and did a lot of STEM and focused on theme weeks and taught the kids history, really valuable things to prevent that summer slide, because while kids are not in school, we know that they're falling behind academically unless they're in a program like Boys and Girls Club and unless they have a teacher like Mr. Sean. This is something very exciting. The Ohio Department of Mental Health and Addiction Services, or OMOS, granted us a very large grant, and that grant has allowed us to be able to create this partnership with ART. I know that many of you are familiar with the work of Brett Billingsley. And so this program partnership is historic for our organization. It's the first time that we've ever had this level of partnership where every single one of our kids in our entire organization are going to receive therapeutic, mental health, trauma-informed art sessions facilitated by behavior techs and Masters of Social Work employees through Brent's nonprofit of art. So that's very, very exciting, and that is a huge deal. Our journey to become a trauma-informed organization is a journey. We're designing our spaces, and bringing in great people and great partners like Cincy Art is a huge part of that. And I know Brent's very excited to give back and be more involved with the community where he came from, which is Hamilton. This is something that I hope that you all have seen at least in some point that we're excited about. So we secured a capital gift through the state of Ohio, and also contributions from the Community Development Block Grant Fund through the city of Hamilton. These are the renderings for the renovation of our East Club. If you haven't seen the club before the renovation, there's currently an old pool that needs to be taken out, a building that needs to be painted, a new sign. So all these new fence, all these things are going to happen at this facility, including an outdoor basketball court for kids, which will be part of the Jefferson community. It'll be open to families in the community on weekends or when we're not serving youth at the club. a beautiful mural. So as you drive into Jefferson, from that end of East Avenue, you'll see a mural welcoming a beautiful basketball court and after-school center right next to Jefferson Park to complement the investment that Jan Lindrose has made into that community as well. So very excited for that entrance into the Jefferson neighborhood. And then a nice covered seating area for families to, again, complement that park, fully ADA compliant with picnic benches, covered seating area. So this is something that I'm very excited about, that we're making progress on, and hope to break ground here within the next month or two. So again, just to give you some scale as we wrap up here, we have 5 locations and a teen center at our Grand Club. We're serving more youth and teens than ever, but that doesn't mean that the job is done. There's still a lot of kids in our community who need mentors. There's still a lot of kids in our community who go home to a house where parents are working or they're walking on the street until who knows what time, and we're trying to give them positive places to go. And so I hope that all of you would continue this work with Boys and Girls Clubs of Hamilton. For more information, you can check out our website, a newly renovated website, bgchamilton.org, to learn more. And I have to include this one because we did see the mayor over this summer. This might come as a surprise to some of you, but he did bring his car and got his car washed at our car wash. So I hope that the wax is still on there, hope that it's still looking good. We appreciate the mayor coming and being a part of our car wash this summer. And I'd be remiss if I didn't invite everyone to our Grandstand Jam on September 11th. So this is the only, that I know of, live music in the East End neighborhood. And this is the second year that we've done this. We'll have bands, we'll have spoken word, we'll have an artist or an author reading directly from their book. And this is also in partnership with Barbecuing for a Better Hamilton, as well as Corn Stand Jam. And so I'm a big proponent of to get people connected to the city. Sometimes we have to have duplicative services in their neighborhoods until they feel comfortable to engage where we do have services. And so I can't tell you how many people were so excited to hear that there was going to be a concert in the East End. So this is something now that we have to replicate every year, and we're thankful to our friends at Corn Stand Jam and Barbecuing for a Better Hamilton for coming along this year. I'm looking forward to seeing Craig get out on the grill. And so with that, if there's any questions, I'd love to take any questions that you might have. And before I sit down, I'd love to take a picture with everyone if that's possible as well.
Well, just going to make a couple comments if I could. Thank you for getting North End involved in some positive things this year. And the recent mental health counseling and the mentorship, I know it's adult mentorship, but there's also peer membership sometimes when you get a lot of people together, mentorship. Thank you for that. And the educator retired from Boston who does IEPs, that's pretty amazing stuff. I never heard of that before in an after school or summer type of program like that. So thank you for that.
We have a very special group of people that care a lot about our kids. And so I'm just lucky enough to get to see them work and make sure they have what they need to be successful.
And a great team. Councilmember Lauer.
Tommy, thanks for everything you've done. You've had a huge impact in a short time. The programming that you have, the expansion of all the programming that you have going on is very revitalizing, not only to that neighborhood, but your impact is being felt around our schools and around our civic events. You have definitely made an impact, you and your team. The most encouraging news is the amount of teens that you are serving, as that is a void that we need to fill. We need to pay more attention to our teens and make sure that they are involved in not only our schools, but more involved in our civic activities, and you have done such. Very pleased with all your progress. You have truly made an impact on our youth in Hamilton. I was a member of the YMCA youth department in the 90s, and you know that when it ran its course, along with the Boys and Girls Club, and what you have done to revitalize the Boys and Girls Club is amazing, and it is so enlightening to just kind of watch you work and get our kids involved in the city. Thank you so much. You are definitely a hero.
When you're passionate about something, it's easy to get other great people involved. And so that's one of the ways we've been able to serve so many teens. Is I would be remiss if I didn't mention Andrew Blevins and Ty Smallwood and John Zary, who have been just huge champions of the work that we've done with teens in our community. Mr. Pendergast with their volunteer program through Baden. And so it takes a lot of great people to make these things happen, and everyone's moving the same direction for our youth and teens in our community, and that's very exciting for me. Thank you.
Mr. Mayor,
Councilmember Nat.
Tommy, in your presentation, you commented and said Hamilton doesn't disappoint. And please know, you don't disappoint. And as I'll piggyback on what Joel shared with you, what you brought to the city, the engagement, the collaborations, the expansions, moving in collaboration with other clubs, bringing other professional team members to work with you and be part of our club and what you're doing in our community. The Carla had asked a question about, I think you called them sign-ins, and things of those people that come and enjoying the day and spend 4 hours or X amount of hours during a week or a month or over the summertime. What an incredible impact Boys and Girls Clubs have had. And you talked about the collaborations and the other clubs and the other entities of schools and things like that. Everybody's all in. So again, you should be so proud of what you've brought to Hamilton in your short time with us. And we're just continuing to look for good things from the folks that are here with you tonight and from your leadership and things. Thank you so much.
Thank you. We appreciate your support and appreciate you showing up when everyone on council, mayor, and everyone from the city has showed up anytime that I've ever asked for you guys to be somewhere. And so it takes all of that. But thank you.
And thank you for creating partnerships that really do make a difference. You want a picture of me, all of us holding up our shirts?
If you would like to, yeah. So those shirts are our new staff shirts. On the front is the Boys and Girls Clubs of Hamilton logo. On the back, it says Ohio Needs Club Kids. And I agree, because those club kids are our future employees. Those are our future council people. Those are our future workforce and leaders. And so the more we can invest in them, the better.
I'm right up front there.
I need you. I'll bring you one. I promise. Am I too tall here? Me to sit? Bring your brother up.
That's fine.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm sorry that I shook your hand too hard last time.
You broke it.
Thank you.
It's because he's rubbing out.
Thanks, Tommy.
Tommy's probably that bad golf I was playing.
Okay, and lastly on our special presentations will be a presentation regarding Article 10, Charter Amendment Update by our Director of Strategy and Personnel, Brandon Sarver.
Good evening, City Council. I'm really sorry to have to follow that great presentation by Tommy. I was hoping I could have followed my fellow Lindemore native, Chris Flagg. So I'll make this quick, and maybe we can get each of you to hold up your copy of the charter for a picture with me.
Riveting.
So we're going to talk about the proposed amendments to our charter that are on the ballot this November. But first I want to start out with, what is a charter? The charter of the City of Hamilton sort of serves as, to use an IT term, our operating system. This is akin to the Constitution of the state of Ohio or the federal government, and it really sets the framework for how our city operates. A key purpose of having a charter when this was developed in the early 1900s is to have home rule for cities. So the City of Hamilton is one of 300 chartered municipalities in the state out of 900 in the state of Ohio. And one of the key components of the home rule is it allows us a degree of self-governance without persistent sort of legislative oversight from the state of Ohio. So a good example of that is that if we were not a chartered city, the state default is that you all on council would be elected on a partisan basis. By having a charter, for instance, we get the opportunity to say locally, we do not want to have partisan elections here in the City of Hamilton. And this dates back, our charter was first adopted in 1926, making us one of the early charter cities in the state of Ohio. The Charter Review Commission, this is a commission of residents that are appointed by you, City Council, every 5 years. New members every 5 years appointed to review and recommend updates to our Constitution. Sometimes the Charter Review Commission, such as 5 years ago, determines that there are no items in need of update. But this commission in particular unanimously recommended that council send these revisions to Article 10 to the ballot in November. I have the listed members of the Charter Review Commission on the screen there. That list is also available on our website, a link I'll share later. So what is Article 10 of the Charter? Article 10 focuses on the Human Resources Department and the Civil Service Commission. Specifically, this really dictates how our workforce functions and how we handle matters related to employment of the City of Hamilton. So the changes that are proposed, I want to move through them pretty quickly, focus on 4 areas, but in general, we're looking at modernizing city operations, streamlining our Human Resources Department, and make sure that our charter within this area reflects the best practices of small and large communities within the region. So these, the ballot language has yet to be shared with us from the Board of Elections. Daniel tells me that that's expected here within the next couple of weeks. So I'll be back for another presentation before the election where we'll have that ballot language and go a little bit more into that. But just want to give you some of the highlights of what's recommended here. Modernizing the HR department. This formally recognizes HR as the central hub for all employee-related matters in the city, which it has been since 2016. So prior to a decade ago, we had the Civil Service and Personnel Department, which worked to support the Civil Service Commission and really worked in a very administrative capacity to administer tests, approve eligibility lists, et cetera. Really over the last 10 years, we have expanded HR as a strategic function within our organization that includes recruiting, training, policy development, employee relations, et cetera. So this really is reflecting that evolution within the charter. The Civil Service Commission structure, there are a couple really notable changes here. The first is that there are 3 members of the Civil Service Commission. One of them is appointed by the Hamilton Board of Education because historically the Board of Education used our Civil Service Commission as an independent oversight body for their employee-related matters. They have not done so in a number of years. So that part of our charter that says that the school board is going to appoint that third appointee really is no longer relevant to existing practices. So this sort of streamlines that and does effectively what we're doing in practice, where council will appoint all 3 of those members. The other major change to the Civil Service Commission structure is that embedded within the charter, and I believe this is the only place in the charter where we have a relic of sort of the partisan nature, and that is that we say that 2 commissioners cannot exist from the same political party or have the same political party affiliation. So what we're trying to do here is remove that language. We understand why it happened in the 1920s when we had this era of significant political patronage within our city. I think it's really wonderful that this council operates on a nonpartisan basis. So this is really just removing that last vestige of partisanship from our charter, so that these folks are appointed solely on merit, qualifications, and their ability to serve the public interest. Will the Civil Service Commission still have independent oversight? And the answer is absolutely yes. These changes really relate more to the appointment process and administrative support, not the fundamental authority of the Civil Service Commission. Next is clarity and consistency. So we have some references, for instance, to the title of secretary, a title that no longer exists within our organization. So this is really just kind of a cleanup to make sure that the charter, again, is consistent with our organizational structure. And the final main change here is the classification status of the Human Resources Director. The HR Director was the only director within the city that was not under unclassified service. So what we're really doing here is moving that highly strategic position that had evolved from that very sort of administrative function into unclassified service. And the general rule is if you look at the way that the charter defines classified versus unclassified services. Classified service, there are a couple different options there, competitive tests like police and fire and some infrastructure roles, or generally other professional or managerial non-senior leadership roles. Those who are in unclassified service are generally the people on the dais here and all other city directors and volunteer board appointees. Why are these changes being suggested? Really, it's up there, and I don't want to continue to read these slides to you, but it's about modernization, efficiency, and best practices, having a truly merit-based system, and improved and streamlined operations for the city of Hamilton. And I think that's at the essence of why residents should care about this, is that this allows us to operate a professional HR function in a very efficient way. When will this be on the ballot? These proposed changes will be on the general election ballot November 4th, and if approved, these changes would start to take effect January 1, 2026. If anyone is interested in more information, they can find that at hamilton-oh.gov/Article 10. That's Article 10. Currently, we have a number of frequently asked questions that are on there to take a deeper dive into some of these elements. And certainly once we get the ballot language and some additional resources, that will all be housed on that webpage. Any questions?
Any questions?
Did great.
And I just want to say a couple things. In your introduction, what words that come out to me, that's our Constitution, number one.
Correct.
Secondly, home rule. Home rule does give us flexibility, options to a degree. I think it's important that Constitution, think about it as that, as well as home rule. So,
yes, sir.
thank you for the explanation about the changes.
Mr. Mayor?
Please.
Brandon, I had the pleasure of serving on Civil Service Commission for 8 years prior to being elected to City Council. And when you mentioned about the party pleasure of partisan, nonpartisan commitment, please be assured that in the 8 years that I served, I was never once asked, how do you vote?
Right.
And I was never once, it was never partisan, even on our Civil Service Commission. So it's enlightening to bring it, as you said, modernization and moving, as we are nonpartisan as council members, moving the commission to also a nonpartisan. And then that third member that had been appointed by the school board, importantly, is now going to be part of our team and things. So again, that takes away that breadth of what party are you affiliated with. So I'm glad to see that the commission and the folks that work so hard in the diligence that we're bringing now to the ballot have said, let's bring this into 2025,
right,
not 1925-26. So.
And Tim, I think you hit at the theme there that in general, we're just trying to make sure that the charter reflects how we've been operating. And those of you who have served on the Civil Service Commission, at least in my tenure here, have done so in a very nonpartisan manner. And I think that's important. We continue to do that.
Thanks.
Thank you.
All right, that takes care of special presentations. We now go to audience of citizens. We'll not go to audience of citizens because only one person signed the book, and that was Mr. Flagg, who already made the presentation. So we'll go from audience of citizens, consent agenda. That includes all staff reports, all caucus reports, meeting minutes. We're going to go into committee of the whole. And that's a chance for council to hear from our city professionals about issues that will be coming before us, and they'll provide us some comment on those reports. I'll accept the motion that the regular meeting be recessed and the committee of the whole take place.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Vice Mayor Pullman, second by Council Member Fear. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Hearing none, that motion is carried at 6:52. We now go into the caucus agenda. Mr. City Clerk, if you'll lead us through it.
Absolutely.
For our first presentation for the Committee of the Whole will be made by our Director of Planning, Ms. Lauren Nelson. She'll be covering items 1, 2, and 5.
Good evening, Mayor and members of council. So first up this evening is the major plan development amendment, specific use request, and rezoning. This was an application by Durana Hybrid related to their campus expansion. That was before the Planning Commission. So Planning Commission took action and recommended approval of the major plan development amendment and the specific use request as it relates to the exterior storage of fleet vehicles, a handful of variance requests along with that, and then the rezoning of remnant properties owned by Cuddle Investments from B2 to IPD. So most of what Durana owns already is IPD, but as additional properties have been acquired to incorporate into this sort of larger master plan, some remaining parcels needed to be rezoned accordingly. So on this map here, in green, I know this is a little hard to see here on this slide, but in green is 903 Bell Avenue. That is Durana Hybrid's existing property and location. Their primary expansion will be there in yellow. That's 1093 Bell Avenue. And then right across the street, outlined in blue, is 904 Bell Avenue, which is currently vacant, will be the construction of an additional building. This one's a little bit better. It shows the layout sort of what's going to be happening. So at 1093 Bell Avenue, again, there in the middle, this is going to be a second manufacturing building with offices. We'll be adding approximately 92,000 square feet. It includes a truck court on the southwest corner of the new building, office parking, and a pocket park there along South Erie Boulevard. At 904 Bell Avenue, and it's an addition of about just under 23,000 square feet for a warehouse building and storage. It also includes parking garage below the new structure. This is designed to have similar features as the main building. There will be a ramp into the garage. There will be large roll-up garage doors and opaque fencing on the northern area of the site with gate access there to the back. As you can see, there's sort of empty space where there will be additional parking. And then just a few mock-ups of renderings of what the building is proposed to look like. The variances, since I had mentioned that there were a few variance requests as part of this, they are related to setbacks and landscaping and then the location of the overhead doors. Are there any specific questions about this project?
Mr. Mayor. Lauren, what's the timing on all of this? Maybe when it begins, when it's completed, or in phases?
So not in phases that I'm aware of. So I mean, this just moved through the planning commission process, and assuming that there's approvals, then they would be moving forward with permits. So, I imagine we'll see more action in 2026.
You think a one-year project?
I do not know the timeline, but someone is here from Durana if you would like to ask maybe more specific questions on the timeline.
That folks know there's construction going on, what's the timeline? Things happen when there's construction.
Sure, right.
I was on planning commission and we heard from, I think, residents and somebody from a commercial business. I noticed in the staff report that there's been discussion, some minor adjustments were all done. Is that correct?
Yes, there's been input and back and forth with Durana related to, I know signage was one of the things. The size of the signage that was originally proposed has been scaled back. Some additional fencing, things like that have been added.
And I also want to thank Tyler for the relationship that he has built with city schools and getting young people to visit Durana Hybrid. It might be a place where they'll be working sometime. And you're also helping them to understand we make things in Hamilton, commercial town in a lot of ways. So thank you for all the work on that, because this took a lot of work for this expansion to get to where it is today. Their part and our part as well. So thank
Absolutely.
Mr. Mayor.
Vice Mayor Pullman.
Alan, can you go back to the drawing again, the previous slide? No, sorry, right there. So the Bell Avenue, we're not going out to Route 4. That's kind of how it's doing now, right? Originally, I thought it was going out to Route 4.
So I believe this rendering is showing what the new alignment will be. I don't know if there's a pointer on here. I think I'm not going to speak for engineering. I cannot speak with certainty about the new traffic alignment related to this.
I'm on the board of TID, so we've talked about this
Right.
too. So I was just wondering if we're going out on Route 4 with that, or if that's a change of plans, which is, that's fine right there, but I'm just wondering what happened to that idea, so.
There's been a couple iterations of that
Right.
traffic flow that have gone back and forth, and what we can do is get the latest version, get a copy to you and council, and share that.
Yeah, I have personally lost track of all of the back and forth with that our engineers and infrastructure in Durana have been very involved in that.
Lose track of, I'm sure of, yeah.
So, and this rendering, I think important to note, your question brings up a very good point, which is this rendering is their campus plan. This is not showing the infrastructure improvements and the realignment that will be going along with this project. So this should not be taken as like final version of what all of the new traffic patterns will look like.
That building's going to make Route 4 look really good right there, so great job. Thanks.
Is there anything else, Edwin, that you think is worth adding to that?
Here comes some Anthony. He's got it.
No, I mean, you can kind of see it up there, but essentially the new alignment has Bell Avenue intersecting Dixie Highway and then continuing on to South Erie Boulevard. So it does continue on to Route 4 there.
Okay, there is a street there. I'm not seeing it.
Yeah, it's just kind of hard to see. So it kind of goes all the way through. Sorry, kind of short. But it's right there.
So it will go all the way through, and there'll be probably a stoplight there and everything.
That's right. There's going to be stoplights at both,
because that's
intersections. So at Dixie Highway.
Kind of what I
Route 4.
understood with TID too. So
Yeah, it's technically one. They're all synced together, but it's really two.
Just kind of hard to see on there. I just didn't see it on there. Okay, thanks.
Thank you, Edwin. Are there any other questions related to this project?
Just one comment, Mr. Mayor.
Please.
We love it when companies grow. And we love it when companies stay in Hamilton and do the fun things that Durana has done. Somebody just said, what an improvement along Route 4 and in that area of Greater Lindenwold and things like that. So again, we welcome the transformation. We welcome the newness of design and what it's going to bring to the neighborhood. So all good stuff.
The next item is related to 1620 Ray Combs Avenue, which is Eagle Motors. And Planning Commission heard a conditional use request to allow automotive repair. I have a map on the next slide which shows, but this request, Eagle Motors is multiple properties. So automotive repair at 1620 Ray Combs Avenue, which is for a mechanic, like repair shop. And then across the street at 1647 Mosler is also automotive repair, but is for car tinting and detailing. And these properties are zoned light industrial, and the request included 2 variances to the Hamilton zoning ordinance. Planning Commission took action and recommended approval of the conditional use and 2 variance requests with conditions. I think we'll go into more detail on that. So on this map, this is showing the 3 different parcels that are related to the operations here. In red is 1620 Ray Combs, so that is the auto shop. And 1605 Ray Combs in yellow is really where a lot of the vehicles are parked and stored. And so a number of the conditions of approval in Planning Commission's recommendation are related to cleaning up of that yellow lot. And then at 1464 Mosler, right next door, is for the detailing piece of it. So some of the items to note that Planning Commission recommended is that the cleanup of the site and the removal of all inoperable cars at that parcel outlined in yellow needed to happen before this conditional use came to City Council for your consideration. There has been significant efforts towards removal of all of the cars and cleanup, and so staff was comfortable with this recommendation coming before City Council this evening. Additionally, another additional condition of approval is related to Eagle Motors property at 933 South Erie Boulevard, that there was some cleanup of aprons in the right-of-way and removal of those aprons that was previously supposed to occur and has not occurred yet. And so one of the conditions of approval related to this specific property and this use is that they also must complete the work that they had been, told previously needed to happen at 933 South Erie. There was a lot of conversation about fencing and landscape buffers. The two variance requests are related to the south and east sides of the property. The variances are related to the setbacks, but Planning Commission upheld staff's recommendation in terms of a larger landscape buffer along the street frontages of that parcel in yellow. I think those are the main highlights. Are there any questions related to that? I think that's my last slide.
Mr. Mayor.
Please.
Lauren, did this come to the city's attention because of the request to put the new businesses in there, or has the city been dealing with this problem?
Yeah, this came before City Council due to code enforcement that was happening. Yes.
Okay.
So staff has been in communication with the property owner dating back probably 18 months to 2 years.
Okay.
And then they've been slowly, making progress, and then finally we're able to get them to submit their application. There's also a new point of contact, and so really most of the activity that's happened has moved forward since someone else has stepped in and been the primary point of contact, and so now we've had much more movement and better interaction and cooperation with the property owner.
Thank you. I thought this had come before us at some point, but I couldn't remember why and what happened, so
Yes.
thank you.
Yes. There's no other questions, and I'll jump into the last one, which is just related to vacating a portion of Williams Avenue. So as you recall, the Schuler-Benioffen Mill property, the redevelopment outlined there in the bottom of the screen shows the entire campus. And so that includes vacating the portion of Williams Avenue between the sides of the street. They're all owned by the same entity ultimately, and that will be part of a larger master plan here. Here's the site, again, back from the plan development that was approved by council and the Planning Commission a couple of months ago. So you can see in this rendering that pocket park that faces Pleasant Avenue and the parking lot are existing over what today is Williams Avenue. So the vacation before you today is just the city stepping forward with that portion of this project that was contemplated as part of the plan development that came before you a couple months ago. Are there any questions?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Before we jump to the exciting liquor application transfers, Brandon, can you send council your slide deck on the charter information? Easy just to send that to somebody who may walk up to us and say, what's it about? We can just simply do that.
We'll have a more simplified version of that once we get the ballot language. More or less a 1 or 2 page.
Great. Thank you.
Okay.
All right.
Back to the most exciting items on the agenda. Numbers 3 and 4 regarding liquor permit transfers presented by our city clerk, Daniel Tidyman. Okay. Hello, Mayor, members of council, members of the public. I've got 2 quick items. These are both liquor permit transfers. Item number 3 is a transfer of a C1, C2, and D6 liquor permit for the BP that's located on 930 Main Street. This is a transfer of permits from an existing permit holder, the BP that's operating currently. The permits in question are permits to sell beer and wine in prepackaged vessels that could be then consumed off premises, as well as a D6 permit for Sunday sales. And item number 4 is located on it should be 2866 Pleasant Avenue. This is I believe it's the former Circle K, now Das Mart. This is a C1 and C2 liquor permit. So once again, prepackaged beer and wine sales for retail service that'll be consumed off premises. The appropriate city departments have reviewed both of these permits. This is building, fire, health. There are no objections from staff for both of these permits, so staff is recommending that council does not object to these permits. Do we have any questions about these items?
Questions? Thank you, sir.
All right, thank you.
Okay, I'll set the motion to committee that will be closed.
So moved.
Second. Motion by Councilmember Nab, second by Councilmember Ryan. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Hearing none, that motion is carried at 7:07. I'll set the motion that the regular meeting be reconvened.
So moved. Second.
By Councilmember Fear, second by Vice Mayor Pullman. Roll call vote on that motion, please.
Moeller?
Yes?
Pullman?
Yes.
Ryan?
Yes.
Fear?
Yes.
Vaughn?
Yes.
Nab?
Yes.
Lauer?
Yes.
Motion adopted, 7-0.
Okay, and I'll set the motion.
Mr. Mayor.
Vice Mayor Pullman.
Make a motion that with the exception of the items so noted, council receive the reports of the consent agenda and concur on the recommendations.
Second.
Motion by Vice Mayor Pullman, second by Councilmember Nab. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Hearing none, that motion is carried at 7:08, which was also the same time that the regular meeting was reconvened. Now go to council actions pertaining to legislative items, and I'll set the motion.
Mr. Mayor,
Councilmember Vaughn.
I move that a note be made upon the minutes that each member of council was provided a printed copy of each item of legislation prior to its being considered at this meeting.
Second.
Motion by Councilmember Vaughn, second by Councilmember Lauer. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Hearing none, the motion is carried at 7:09. We now go into the public hearing section of our agenda. Now set the motion that the regular meeting be recessed and the public hearing take place.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Councilmember Nab, second by Councilmember Ryan. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Hearing none, that motion is carried at 7:09. We now go to agenda item number 6, which is the public hearing. Would you please read that into the record?
A public hearing regarding approving a major amendment to Plan Hamilton, the city's comprehensive plan, adding the Innovation District Master Plan to the plan.
No one in the audience wish to be heard at this public hearing involving the Innovation District Master Plan. Anyone in the audience wish to be heard at this public hearing involving the Innovation District Master Plan? Anyone on council wish to be heard about this matter or wish to make a motion?
Mr. Mayor,
Councilmember Nab.
I move the public hearing be closed.
Second.
Motion by Councilmember Nab, second by Vice Mayor Pullman. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Hearing none, the motion is carried at 7:10. Also, the motion that the regular meeting be reconvened.
So moved.
Second. Motion made by Vice Mayor Pullman, second by Councilmember Ryan. Roll call vote on that motion, please.
Moeller?
Yes?
Pullman?
Yes.
Fear?
Yes.
Vaughn?
Yes.
Ryan?
Yes.
Nab?
Yes.
Lauer?
Yes.
Motion adopted, 7-0.
There'll be a first reading on that particular ordinance later on, but we'll get there later. New legislation, agenda item number 7. First reading of an emergency ordinance involving burial permit fees.
An emergency ordinance amending subparagraph H of section 1733.01, fees and charges of the codified ordinances of the city of Hamilton, Ohio, relative to burial permit fees as updated by House Bill 96 to be effective September 30th, 2025 through November 30th, 2025. First reading.
Thank you. We go to agenda item number 8. First reading of an ordinance also involving burial permit.
An ordinance amending Exhibit Number 1 of Ordinance Number OR 2025-7-33, adopted July 9th, 2025, relative to Section 1733.01, fees and charges of the codified ordinances of the City of Hamilton, Ohio, to reflect the updated burial permit fee as mandated by House Bill 96, with the amended fee schedule to take effect December 1st, 2025. First reading.
Let's say something about this. This is an increase from $3 to $10. And $9.50 of that amount goes to the state treasury cemetery fund. I just kind of hope that if we come into some issues where we need that indigent monies, that we'll be able to access that particular fund in case we do run into some issues involving indigent burials and some other things. Though. Okay, number 9. First reading of an ordinance involving the classification of Assistant Human Resources Director.
An ordinance amending and supplementing Schedule A of the city's classification and compensation plan as set forth in emergency ordinance number EOR 2024-12-117, adopted December 13, 2024, as amended from time to time by establishing the classification of Assistant Human Resources Director. First reading.
Thank you. We now go to agenda item number 10, to read an emergency ordinance of a memorandum of agreement with ASME Local 3169.
An emergency ordinance authorizing the city manager to enter into a memorandum of agreement with the American Federation of State, County, and Municipal Employees, Local 3169, AFL-CIO, to amend the current collective bargaining agreement and Schedule I-1 of the city's classification and compensation plan relative to establishing the classifications of Inspector 1, Inspector 2, and Inspector 3 to replace the current classification of Inspector, first of two readings.
Vice Mayor Pullman.
Make a motion that the rules be suspended, said ordinance be read a second time by its title. Excuse me.
Motion made by Vice Mayor Pullman, second by Councilmember Ryan. Roll call vote on that motion, please.
Moeller.
Yes.
Pullman.
Yes.
Ryan.
Yes.
Fear.
Yes.
Vaughn.
Yes.
Nab.
Yes.
Lauer.
Yes.
Motion adopted, 7-0.
Okay. Second reading of the emergency ordinance, please.
An emergency ordinance authorizing the city manager to enter into a memorandum of agreement with the American Federation of State, County, and Municipal Employees, Local 3169, AFL-CIO, to amend the current collective bargaining agreement to Schedule I-1 of the city's classification and compensation plan relative to establishing the classifications of Inspector 1, Inspector 2, and Inspector 3 to replace the current classification of Inspector. Second reading.
Mayor.
Vice Mayor Pullman.
Make a motion that the ordinance be adopted. Second.
Motion made by Vice Mayor Pullman, second by Councilmember Ryan. Any discussion or comments on this one? Hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Moeller.
Yes.
Pullman.
Yes.
Ryan.
Yes.
Fear.
Yes.
Vaughn.
Yes.
Nab.
Yes.
Lauer.
Yes.
Ordinance adopted, 7-0.
Go to agenda item number 11, two readings of an ordinance involving supplemental appropriations.
An ordinance making supplemental appropriations for current expenses and other expenditures of the City of Hamilton during fiscal year ending December 31st, 2025, first of two readings.
Mr. Mayor,
Councilmember Vaughn.
I move the rules be suspended and said ordinance be read a second time by its title.
Second.
Motion by Councilmember Vaughn, second by Councilmember Nab. Roll call vote on that motion, please.
Moeller.
Yes.
Pullman.
Yes.
Ryan.
Yes.
Fear.
Yes.
Vaughn.
Yes.
Nab.
Yes.
Lauer.
Yes.
Motion adopted, 7-0.
Okay, second reading of that ordinance, please.
An ordinance making supplemental appropriations for current expenses and other expenditures of the City of Hamilton during fiscal year ending December 31st, 2025, second reading.
Mr. Mayor,
Councilmember Vaughn.
I move the ordinance be adopted.
Second.
Motion by Councilmember Vaughn, second by Councilmember Nab. Comments, questions on this one? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Moeller.
Yes.
Pullman.
Yes.
Ryan.
Yes.
Fear.
Yes.
Vaughn.
Yes.
Nab.
Yes.
Lauer.
Yes.
Ordinance adopted, 7-0.
We go to agenda item number 12, which is first reading of an ordinance involving the city's comprehensive plan and innovation district master plan.
An ordinance approving a major amendment to Plan Hamilton, the city's comprehensive plan, adding the Innovation District Master Plan to the plan. City of Hamilton applicant, first reading.
Thank you. We go to agenda item number 13, resolution involving a community reinvestment area agreement with Bill 1893, Pleasant Avenue.
A resolution authorizing and directing the city manager to execute a community reinvestment area agreement with Mill 1893 LLC related to a project at 2350 Pleasant Avenue.
Mr. Mayor.
Councilmember Nab.
I move that the resolution be adopted.
Second.
Motion been made by Councilmember Nab, second by Councilmember Lauer. Discussion or comments on this one? Hearing none, roll call.
Moeller.
Yes.
Pullman.
Yes.
Ryan.
Yes.
Fear.
Yes.
Vaughn.
Yes.
Nab.
Yes.
Lauer.
Yes.
Resolution adopted, 7-0.
Go to agenda item number 14. It's a resolution involving the donation of city-owned vehicle to Butler County.
A resolution authorizing the donation of city-owned vehicle to Butler County for public purposes and waiving the requirements of the city's property disposal procedures.
Mr. Mayor,
Vice Mayor Pullman.
Make a motion that the resolution be adopted.
Second.
Motion by Vice Mayor Pullman, second by Councilmember Vaughn. Questions on this one? Comments? Hearing none, roll call.
Moeller.
Yes.
Pullman.
Yes.
Ryan.
Yes.
Fear.
Yes.
Vaughn.
Yes.
Nab.
Yes.
Lauer.
Yes.
Resolution adopted, 7-0.
Audience of the City Manager.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Earlier, when we were hearing the presentation on the Drana hybrid expansion, Councilmember Nab commented that how much we all like seeing our companies here grow, stay in Hamilton. And it made me think that we should point out, acknowledge, and congratulate 80 Acres and Mike Zilkin, headquartered right here in this building on the 7th floor, for their recent merger, adding 1,000 jobs to their company. I know how proud Mike is, and his comment to us was that Hamilton took a chance and invested in bringing them here, and how proud they are to be headquartered in Hamilton. And so we look forward to seeing their growth continue. Last week, during Audience of Citizens, there was discussion about golf carts. And I wanted to update you on my recommendation, and that is to have staff make a presentation to the Ordinance Review Commission next month. That'll be on September 17th. And there's some confusion about what actually how golf carts are actually defined, and in your Ohio Revised Code there's language that talks about underspeed vehicles traditionally being golf carts that are capable of traveling not more than 20 miles an hour, and then low speed vehicles which are capable of traveling between 20 and 25 miles an hour. So I think it'll be informational for council members, for the Ordinance Review Commission, and then residents and interested parties who'd like to come and participate in that conversation. Finally, I want to make sure everybody's aware, we've made an announcement, but next week, Thursday, September 4th, 2 p.m., very exciting event here in Hamilton, and that's the groundbreaking for Build Back the Block. Build Back the Block is our initiative to bring high quality, affordable housing to neighborhoods throughout the city. That initiative is beginning in Jefferson. It's beginning next week with the groundbreaking at 2 homes in the 900 block of East Avenue. So look forward to seeing a lot of folks out there to celebrate that occasion with us. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Audience of City Council.
Mr. Mayor.
Member Fear.
Craig, kind of following up on what you said about the golf carts, I've also been getting quite a few comments about e-bikes on sidewalks and bike path. Is that something that maybe they could bring an update on also? I guess now with the weather being better, there's a lot of people out because they said they weave in and out.
Yeah, absolutely. I think just educating, the public and people about what is allowed, and then we can also talk about our efforts to enforce what's allowed. And it's kind of two separate issues, but they're both very important. Educating folks and then making sure that we're holding people accountable for their actions.
Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, I'll tailgate on that. Craig, if you will, also include scooters. There is a preponderance of young people on scooters in the streets and on sidewalks. The two-wheeled electric scooters that you and I, when we were kids, we thought that pushing off with one leg and riding 20 feet was a good run. These things are doing incredible things in the streets and sidewalks, and they're interruptive. So hopefully that same group will take a look at vehicles that everybody's kind of mentioned tonight and get a composite going for us and what we might be able to look at.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you.
I also think it's important to take a look at, because you can be walking down a sidewalk, make a right-hand turn, and if that e-bike is on the sidewalk, you can walk right into an e-bike.
Absolutely.
And it needs to be looked at because they're going at pretty high speeds, and they got some weight to them too. They could cause some damage to the pedestrian. So just need to take a look at it.
Mr. Mayor?
Vice Mayor Pullman.
I want to congratulate Hamilton Chamber of Commerce and Dan Bates for such a great Hamilton Palooza. You did you must be good this year because you had great weather and they washed over you this year, and it was it was very impressive to walk around and see how many vendors, and it was packed, and it was just it was a really good day, and I'm sure you're pretty happy with it. So it's excellent job. I mean, it was a proud day for Hamilton, and look forward for next year now. So it's getting you're not too wore out, are you? You looked a little beat when I talked to you. Just a quick moment, but it was an excellent job. It was a really good day. We really enjoyed it. A lot of vendors. Well, you had 150 or something like that, like 150 vendors. So it's just a good day for Hamilton, and a great day, car show and everything. It was a great day to hang out down there. Thank you.
It worked out well, connected a lot of people to resources, whether you're and veterans were involved in this event as well, and connected a lot of veterans to resources, whether it be banks, whether it be self, whether it be whatever kind of agency, but it was a good connecting event.
And you even had Schmidt's sausage truck from Columbus down here. What a great place. I mean, that was a good move. So awesome.
Anyone else?
Mr. Mayor,
Councilmember Lauer.
I too want to thank Dan Banks and the chamber. Appreciate everything. A lot of options. Thank you very much. But I also want to say this. Last Friday night, Hamilton High and Baton High School played, and what a great atmosphere. Nothing epitomized opening night of football season of high school football season in the fall, more so than the Hamilton-Baton game. An inner-city rival that was extremely competitive. And I want to give my compliments to everybody at Hamilton High who put the game on, and those who worked at Baton High School with Hamilton to do some things within the community. What used to be, I feel like, a very hated rivalry turned into a rivalry that is very healthy for our city, and I hope it continues. It is, in 36 years of coaching, it is one of the top 4 most memorable games of my career. The way that our kids played, both from Hamilton High as well as Baton, was unbelievable. It was an extremely hard-hitting game and very, very competitive. But the beautiful thing about it was, after the game, both sides were very respectful. They were very complimentary of each other, and there was a true bond. And I hope that we're able to continue this game through for a long time. It says everything about high school football. The Hamilton and the Baton game says everything about what high school football is supposed to be about, and it kicks off our school year with great excitement. There were 6,000 people in the stands. And in 36 years, I don't think I've ever stopped in the middle of a game to take a look around my surroundings and see what a great night that was. And it was a perfect night for Hamilton, Ohio. Coach Crouch and Coach Yorty are to be commended for the way their kids handled themselves throughout the week and throughout the game and after the game. It was very exciting and humbling as a coach to be a part of this.
Mr. Mayor?
Councilmember Knapp.
Jump on board, Joel. It was an electric night for both teams, for the camaraderie, their friends, and across the field that were waving to each other and as their sons and daughters and people around the field, and the way that both teams performed was just outstanding. I'd also like to compliment the fact that shirt sales, proceeds from the shirt sales, were contributed to the Booker T. Washington Community Center. It was $6,000. It's a lot of money for BTW to be able to appreciate and move into their funding and their programs and what they're doing down at the center. So again, what a great night. And Dan, again, congratulations on Hampapalooza. What a great day. Thank God for the weather, but also for your vendors that showed up. Eric mentioned the cars and the motorcycles and the food trucks, the beverage, the whole thing was just tremendous. I walked and talked to vendors that had never been there before, and they felt like they were part of something that was real important, and they're hopeful to be able to come back again next year. So congratulations, and we'll watch for all good things next year. Thank you.
And it was great coaching, great plays, and high character. Both sides of that field.
You're a big part of that, Joel. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, can I make a comment to Joel?
Vice Mayor
about
Pullman.
that? Well, we got to do the coin toss, the mayor, myself, and Councilman Nab, and either I'm getting shorter with age or them boys are getting a lot bigger. I'm telling you, I know I'm short, but my gosh, them boys are.
Those guys were
them guys are
very big.
I'm standing up there going like this, and I'm just saying, I knew you get shorter as you get older, but geez, I think these boys they were very polite. And they were
Yes.
they were excellent.
A lot of talent.
Yeah,
A lot
yeah.
of talent. But those kids are great kids.
Okay,
They had great motors and were wanting to play. You could tell that just at the coin toss. They were wanting to play. They had great motors. Jeez.
Yeah, they were, like I said, very polite in that huddle out there, so that was great. Good job.
Anyone else? I want to just mention 3 events coming up. One is September 23rd, the Reds game. The hometown hero, Josh Branner from Hamilton. He's an American Legion service officer as well as Save a Warrior. He'll be recognized during the game as a hometown hero and staying on the dugout, and hopefully there'll be a lot of people there to see him. Secondly, the rededication of the Butler County Veterans Memorial at Veterans Park, 2 o'clock Sunday, September 28th, 2025. You can probably notice along the river right now, the flagpoles that are up, that are new. You can see them from all across town, it seems like. It's an amazing improvement to the Veterans Park area. Next, in early October, there's going to be a formal dedication of the Joe Nuxhall historic marker at Smith Park, Nuxhall Ball Fields, where he was discovered by the Cincinnati Reds at the age of 15. And lastly, Oktoberfest on Pyramid Hill Boulevard is opening again this year. 2025 event, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. The opening ceremonies at 5 o'clock on Saturday. That's Pyramid Hill Boulevard. Anybody else got anything? Mr. City Manager, we're going to do an executive session?
No, Mr. Mayor, not tonight.
Okay. All right. Is there a motion that we adjourn this meeting?
So moved.
Second. Motion made by Councilmember Fear, seconded by Councilmember Ryan. Roll call vote, please, on that.
Moeller,
Yes.
Pullman,
Yes.
Ryan,
Yes.
Fear,
Yes.
Vaughn,
Yes.
Nab,
Yes.
Lauer.
Yes.
Motion adopted, 7-0.
And it's 7:29. Thank you. Thank you all for being here.
Thank you.